Oh, what a load of shit, lads and lasses. Oh my god, hey everyone, it's the Flying Pig here on Flying Pig United. Feeling a bit rough today, but here I am with a little match reaction slash season reaction slash City win the league reaction, because Manchester United have just pissed it away. We handed the league to City a bit early. Okay, they were good to win the league anyway, they deserved it this season. But Man United losing to West Brom today effectively gave it to them early, so I think that's absolutely piss poor from us. I mean, the actual performance today from Manchester United was fucking laughable, man. We're up against West Brom. They're bottom of the fucking league for a reason. They are shite. Manchester United looked second best at times today. We had all that talent on the pitch, 5 strikers at one point, couldn't break West Brom down. No wonder we haven't won the fucking league and challenged City this season. We're just nowhere near good enough. But there you go. It's just inconsistency again from Manchester United. You know, it's all well and good beating City the other day. Great win, that. Unbelievable derby result, comeback win. But then it just sums us up, really, to then go and play West Brom in the next fixture and lose like that. It just goes to show you how shite and inconsistent we are. That's all I could really take from it. Everybody who's joining me right now, thanks for tuning into the live match reaction. Do us a favour, chuck a like on this video. If you're a City fan, just do one, because I'm not going to talk about how good City are and give you praise and how much of a legend Pep Guardiola and all that bollocks is, so you might as well just do one. I mean, I am going to talk about that a little bit. I mean, not the Pep being a legend stuff. I mean, he's a prick, isn't he? But, you know, City have deserved it this season. They have. But, yeah, what I take away from this performance today is just how inconsistent United are. It's so frustrating when you have players like Paul Pogba putting the performance against City the other day, and then today he just looks like, you know, an £80 million turd again in the centre of the park. There's all sorts of problems at Manchester United. Why is Herrera playing to start with? I mean, I'm pretty sure he's bang average. I think most people agree with that. He's playing, and we had some talents on the bench that didn't make it in today. I don't really like that from Jose. I want to see us field a really strong side. I know we've got this game against Tottenham coming up, and we've got Bournemouth coming up, and there's a couple of fixtures coming up, but still, I want to see us put out a stronger performance and get the job done against West Brom here. You know, West Brom are shit. I hate to say it, you know, sorry West Brom fans, you've done us today. Great performance by West Brom. Backs to the wall defending. Not only that, you know, Jay Rodriguez got himself a goal there. They've attacked at times. They had almost as many shots as we did. So they had a good performance against us today. Fair play to West Brom. But it really is majorly down to Manchester United just being dog turd, bang average shite. That's basically what it comes down to. So, yeah, you know, enjoy the win, West Brom, but really it's Manchester United's lack of anything going forward, lack of being able to break you down that's done it today. And yeah, like I say, the final blow to the season has been dealt. I think most people were pretty resigned to the fact that Man City and Pep Guardiola were going to win the league this season a long time ago. They already wrapped that up. You know, they've had a few wobbles recently, losing to Liverpool, losing to us. You know, but then they've of course got that great results last night against Tottenham, where they beat them 3-1. So that basically took any doubt away from it. If they'd have lost that game, they could have gone on a bit of a downward spiral, and who knows, maybe they wouldn't have finished the season as strongly, and anything could have happened. But one thing would have been sure is if Manchester United were to mount any chance, or to have any chance at actually mounting a challenge for the Premier League trophy, we would have had to win this game today, which we haven't. So yeah, it's just massive frustration from the fans of Manchester United at the moment. But at the same time, let's just look at it objectively. You know, congratulations to City. They've played the best football this season. Pep's one of the best managers around. He is, you know. I said I wasn't going to do this earlier in the video. Well, I am. They do deserve the Premier League trophy this season. But I think they have had a bit of good fortune at times. You know, they've won certain games. Maybe they were lucky to win. But overall, they have managed to win the league convincingly, and they deserve that. But Manchester United have also progressed this season. Yes, we may not be challenging for anything. We may have got dumped out of the Champions League to Sevilla, and it's a disappointing campaign. And we also, you know, may only really have the FA Cup now to save our season, but we still are in that competition. If we could win the FA Cup and finish second, I think most Manchester United fans would take that. In a transitional season under Jose Mourinho, where he's had to come in and compete with Pep Guardiola, and of course he's done that before in the past, but Pep is obviously one of the world's best managers. He's got pretty much an unlimited budget there at City. And you could say the same that Jose does at Manchester United. But still, you can't win all of the battles all of the time. And this season, City were just better. Next season, I think it's going to be tougher for City to keep this up. I mean, they've barely lost any games this season. You know, they've lost a couple of league games this season. They have been just out of this world fantastic, scoring so many goals, but they can't keep it up for another season, I don't think. And I think with Manchester United and Jose Mourinho in charge, he's going to make some big changes in the summer. He's going to get a couple of players out. He's going to get a couple of quality players in. We've already got quality players at the club that can progress and turn into really top quality players. I'm looking at the likes of Rashford and Lukaku, of course, and Martial, and players like this who are only going to get better. I think Manchester United's defensive frailties have been exposed time and time again this season. We need to address that. We need to get a top quality centre-back in. I know we have got Bailey, who I think is quality. But other than that, yes, Smalling's been good at times. Yes, Jones has been good at times, almost revitalised his career under Jose Mourinho. And we've got Lindelof, and he's looked good at times. All those players that I just mentioned, other than Bailey, have also looked pretty damn ropey at times as well, with a lot of mistakes in them. And in order to actually challenge for a trophy like the Premier League, you've got to do what City have done, and is have a ridiculously strong back line, and also, have a really good defensive unit. That's what we need. That's what all old Manchester United teams were built on. Some of the best defences we've had meant that, at the time, the creative players in front of them were allowed to play their football. We don't quite have that at the moment. We've got David De Gea as the back line of defence, last line of defence, who's absolutely quality. But some of the players in front of him at times are a bit ropey. So, plus I think the tactics that Jose Mourinho has actually utilised this season has not benefited Manchester United to our strengths. I think he's been quite negative, quite defensive. You'd always expect this from a Jose Mourinho team. But we would want to see a lot more attacking at Manchester United. Surely with the players that we've got. Look at the freaking team, Jose. We have a team capable of playing attacking football and getting the best of teams. Look at that game against City the other day. How good have City been? They were 2-0 up. Second half, we ripped in a new one because we just went for it. We attacked. We took the shackles off the players. We allowed Pogba to do his thing. Martial, Lukaku to do his thing. All these players just suddenly came alive. And that's what you need to do if you're going to actually win the league. I don't think with City playing the way they are and some of the other teams going for that, Manchester United can defend and win the league. I'm not saying we've done that all the times this season. There's been times this season when we have been really good going forward, but most of the time we've been disappointing. Certainly coming up against some of the bigger teams, we've sat back, we've defended, hoped to hit them on the counter-attack and nick something. We didn't do that against City in the second half of the last game, and that's how what I want to see. I'd rather almost us lose more games, but actually go for it. I don't know if I would, but you know what I mean. It's nobody really questions you if you're defending and winning. It's when you're defending and then coming second best to City by a significant margin that people are going to question Jose Mourinho's tactics. And but then on the other hand, you've got Jurgen Klopp who just goes for it, attack, and they're pretty much right up there as well. But if they weren't, then the pressure would certainly be on him from the fans, because at the end of the day, it is a results industry, and you have to finish, in the Champions League spaces if you're one of these top clubs, and you want to be challenging for the trophies as well. And in order to do that, sometimes you do have to play defensively, you do have to play ugly. So, listen, all these people will be on Jose Mourinho's case again today because we lost against West Brom. It's a shite result, but I am actually happy with where he's brought us from when he first came into the club to now. I don't think we're that far away from mounting a challenge for the Premier League trophy, which for us, domestic glory should be the most important thing. Yes, the Champions League is fantastic and it'd be great to win that, but it's all about winning the English Premier League, in my opinion, for Manchester United. So can we do that next season? Yes, we can. Yes, we can do that. I don't see why not. We just need to bring in a couple of quality players. We've already got a lot of quality at the club. No doubt we will do that. Jose will be given some money to spend in the summer, no doubt. He will also get rid of a couple of players, I'm sure, that are lingering around the squad that perhaps shouldn't be. And that will free up a couple of spaces and allow us to bring a couple of other players in. Now, will City also strengthen in the summer? Probably they will, yeah. But like I said, I don't see City running away with it next season like they did this year. I think everything's gone for them this season. Next season it'll be more of an even playing field. But who the fuck really knows, Football is a strange one. But anyway, congratulations to Man City for winning the Premier League trophy. They've deserved it. It's not like they haven't deserved it this season. They've totally dominated for most of the season, so fair play to them. But it's just like Manchester United, just when we have a little bit of a chance to make them wait, to make them suffer, to let the pressure get on top of them a little bit, our City rivals, what do? We go and shit it up the wall against West Brom and gift them the title a little bit early. It's very disappointing. There was I remember last week when Manchester United beat City, and one of the commentators after the game said, right now, Manchester City cannot win the league against Tottenham either. They've got to beat Tottenham, which is a tough ask, and they've got to have Manchester United lose to West Brom in order to win the league on that day. I was like, oh, great, well, at least they're not going to win the league for a couple of weeks. Wrong. We gifted it to him. We bottled it, just like we have done numerous times this season. So it is what it is. City won the league. Well done. Congratulations. Bullshit. Gungshi in the house. How's it going, Gungshi? I'm just going to go through some of your guys' comments now before I go. Feeling pretty rough today, don't know if you can tell. Look pretty ill, don't I? Got some sort of issue. Scratched my face during the game there as well, you know, just out of pure frustration. So, Gungshi, he says, Rashford, Martial, Lukaku, Alexis Mata, everyone got in everyone else's way. I know, it just didn't gel for Manchester United today at all. Very disjointed play, couldn't break the opposition down at all well. And like you say, all those players you mentioned are quality players. They showed that in the last game that they're capable of ripping the very best teams open. But today, I don't know what it was. They were just not firing on any cylinders whatsoever. Couldn't get the ball down, play it well, couldn't mix it around, move it around quickly, no tempo to it. No ability to actually break through West Brom's defence on many occasions. You know, there's one really good chance from Lukaku, good save from Ben Foster, of course, to keep it out. But other than that, I'm struggling for really clear-cut opportunities that Manchester United created in that game. And they did seem to get in each other's way, so I take that on board, man. Suleiman Abdi says, Matic, you should head the ball out, instead head to your own box. Yeah, I mean, I think he's trying to do that, mate. I think he's just having a couple of mares. Just a bad game all round from most of the players today. The Primate says, will you shut up about City? Yeah, well, sorry about that. I did say I wasn't going to congratulate them and talk about them, and then what did I do? Dilbrin Mahmood comments and says, haha, United is shit, and he looks to have a sky blue shirt on in his profile picture. I will say, piss off, Dilbrin. Don't appreciate it, and, do one, basically. Congratulations on winning the league, but do one, mate. Ellis Velasquez says, why was Pogba taken off, in your opinion? Probably because he's shite, and maybe because he had a yellow card, I think so. But anyway, he wasn't good today again. Very disappointed from him. It's so frustrating, isn't it? Last game against Man City in that second half, he was so good. Pinging the ball around, making lovely runs. I mean, let's not forget that both of the goals that he scored, which were just very seasoned finishers from the lad, were both from lovely runs and balls over the top. And just fantastic time runs, execution, everything was brilliant from Pogba in the last game. But today, Zafran Iqbal sums it up, and he says, Pogpoo, he was not good at all today. Dilbrin comments again. Oh, you're still here, are you, Dilbrin? He says, Liverpool, best team in the Premier League at the moment. Oh, why don't you just climb on the bandwagon, mate? Why? Because they did okay in the Champions League, did they? They played against City and knocked them out over two legs. Why the fuck are they third in the league then? Do you know what I mean? They're not that good, are they? Consistency is a big part of football. It's all well and good if you can turn up on one day, which is Manchester United's problem as well. But Liverpool, they're not challenging for the Premier League for a reason either. So to say that they're the best team in the Premier League at the moment, that's bullshit. Yash says, plan for next season. Mata was so bad. Yeah, well, I hear you. That's the thing. Mata was bad today. But the thing is with Mata is he's one of our most consistent players. He is. I really rate Mata. I think he's a great technical player. He's different to what some of the other players offer you. He's not physical. He's not big. He's not tall. He's not even quick. But what he is he's very intelligent. I think you need a player like that in the final third of your pitch if you're going to have, the right sort of versatility and a good blend, a good mixture of players. You don't just want a team full of brick shithouses, really. You do want a couple of magicians in there as well. I think that's what he is. For me, I know Jose Mourinho got rid of him at Chelsea, and a lot of people are probably saying that he's on the hit list potentially this summer to leave Manchester United based on the fact that he's not played all that much, really, and that Jose Mourinho has actually got rid of him in the past at Chelsea, so maybe he thinks that he can't necessarily do the job that he wants him to do for the side. But he's always proved Jose wrong in terms of when Jose selected him this season, or proved him right. When Jose selected him this season, more often than not, he's made something happen. He's created a goal. He's scored a goal. I mean, his statistics, if you actually look at his stats, what he gives Manchester United per appearance, an average of assists and an average of goals, it's damn respectable. It is. So for me, Juan Mata's one of those players that, yes, he may have to play a few less games next season if he's going to allow some of the other players to come in and shine. Alexis Sanchez has come into the club. He's going to be a big player for us, of course. But Juan Mata's a different type of player. And for me, I'm keeping him at the club all season long next year, 100%. And Morgan Max says, why was Ashley Young so bad today? I don't know what it was. It's like somebody's got into the United dressing room before the game and spiked the Gatorade or something. It's like there was some sort of mental issue going on with the lads today. Like they didn't know who they were. They couldn't connect, and just the way we went about it. Each individual player just didn't perform to the level that they can. And obviously, from a team point of view, if there's a lot of players underperforming, then it means your team's going to underperform as well. And that's exactly what happened. West Brom were able to capitalise. Manchester United just not at the races today. Disappointing, isn't it, to see these players that we know can do it and have been good this season, the likes of Ashley Young, the likes of Mata, not doing it today and struggling. But I think players are entitled to have a bad game here and there. I mean, there's not a lot to play for in these league games if you're Jose or if you're the United players at the moment. Yes, what are we going to do? We're going to stop City from winning the league a little bit earlier. That's the only real incentive. I think second place for Manchester United, well, at least before today, was looking very likely indeed, as the teams behind us were a couple of points ahead, and they've obviously got games. We've got games in hand and not on them as well, not anymore. Although still think we've got a game in hand on Liverpool. I think maybe the incentive is just not quite there for the players at the moment. It seemed like it. I mean, if you look at the intensity at which we approached the City game, certainly in the second half anyway, you could see that those lads were desperate to get a result there, desperate to do something, just because the season is gone. We can't win the Premier League, but we can get one over on the team that are going to win the Premier League. And guess what? Oh, they're our big City rivals. So that was a huge game for us. We had a lot of importance on that game, and the players rose to that occasion, and they played at the best level that they can. But I think in this game, with the league the way it is, yes, we've still got to cement our place in the top four, which is basically a given. But really, we can't really improve much now in the league. So I think mentally, maybe it's just a little bit of a stumbling block for us, or we've reached a brick wall in those terms, because there's nothing really more for us to achieve. I think if you look at the upcoming game against Tottenham in the FA Cup, then that's going to be a total different level of intensity from Manchester United, as it should be, because that's our one chance this season to salvage some silverware, which we should be doing, really. It would be nice anyway. Michael Shows comments and says, Rashford really needs to consider his future under Jose Mourinho. I guess you just don't think that he's utilising him properly, not giving him the opportunities. I mean, I sort of see what you're saying. He's not played a lot this season. He's such a great talent. He's so young. He's got all the potential in the world. He could go on to be one of the very best players in the world. A real great English player like, a Michael Owen or Gary Lineker or something like that. He could be up there with those sorts of players. But with Jose at the helm, is he going to get the game time? Is he going to get the minutes required to progress as a player and actually achieve his potential? Well, probably not as much as if, say, Louis van Gaal was in charge of the club. Louis van Gaal would probably give him more game times, put a lot more faith in him. But the problem is, with Louis van Gaal in charge of the club, we're probably going to finish fucking 7th or something, pal. So it's a fine balance that Jose Mourinho has to, put out there on the pitch. Does he want these players learning and making errors and learning when they're young if it's going to cost Manchester United points? Not really. And I'm not saying Rashford would cost Jose points. I think he's so talented. But the fact is, with young players, they are going to have occasions when they underperform. That's how they learn. That's how they improve. And I just don't think Jose can afford that right now. He seems to have more faith in the more mature players. I think that's why he's brought Alexis Sanchez in. Obviously, 30, he's coming to the end of his career, but it's the last few years of his career. Some may say the best years of his career. And there's a reason people say that. It's because the best years of your career generally are not when you're 19 years old. It's when you're 29 years old and you're seasoned and you've got that experience. And not only have you got the technical ability, but you've also got the mental toughness, all that sort of thing that comes into being a seasoned professional for 10 years, the experience, everything that goes with that. So I think that's what Jose's trying to balance, and he's never really done a great job of that wherever he's been in terms of balancing the youth with the experience. He's always been a bit more favoured in terms of the experience. If I'm Marcus Rashford, unless I can go to somewhere, another big, massive club in world football that's similar to Manchester United's stature, maybe, I don't know, like a Madrid or a PSG or a Bayern Munich, or, if you're talking about English clubs, then of course the biggest clubs in England, Chelsea or Liverpool, or, those sorts of teams. And actually feature more than he would at Manchester United, then I don't think he should go anywhere else. Because if he's going to have to drop down levels, I don't know, maybe just partner Rooney at Everton or something, then his progression is also going to be halted somewhat there, because he's not necessarily going to be playing in these top level football games in the Champions League and that sort of thing regularly to get the experience and progress. So it's so difficult to say, man. I mean, look at Michael Owen. Michael Owen, 18 years of age, 17 years of age, he's burst on the scene. He was unbelievable, scoring so many goals for Liverpool in the Premier League. Fantastic, World Cup 98 goal against Argentina. Boom, Michael Owen's massive. It's absolutely huge, and he's fantastic for years. So good. The amount of goals he scored, his tally in the Premier League before leaving for Real Madrid was absolutely unbelievable. But then, injuries caught up to him, and I think a lot of that is because he played so many games when he was a youngster. A lot of people disagree with me on this point, and they say that no, young lads should play as many times as possible when they're young in order to improve, in order to get that experience. But for me, I think you need to have a fine balance with that also. You don't want to burn players out. I think Jose is aware of that, and he's trying to bring Marcus Rashford along, slowly. But anyway, I think what we should 100% do, if we're honest now, is keep Rashford at the club, whatever we can do, because he's English, he's homegrown, he's a local lad. He's going to be the future of Manchester United in England. He's a quality player. It's just whether or not he can fulfill that 5-star potential that he has, Will he ever get to that 5-star ability? I'm using Football Manager terms here, right? He's got 5-star potential. Will he end up a 4-star player? Will he end up a 3-star player if Jose Mourinho doesn't play him all that often? Or will he go on and fulfill that 5-star potential? Who knows? Only time will tell, but definitely I want Jose Mourinho to select him in the side a bit more than we have seen this season, because I think he's quality. Right, thank you so much for all these comments that are coming through, by the way. Shitloads of comments coming through. Stefan Lude says, not surprised about the result. Teams that always struggle to survive find a way against us. Very true. I mean, this is a team that really, are they even really fighting to be staying in the Premier League this season? I think they're on like 25 points or something. I think they're even too far behind. They're just too far behind. They're basically resigned to going down. They could stay up. This is a huge win for them. Absolute huge win for them. But yeah, we to struggle against this team right now, who have been the worst team, just goes to show you how inconsistent and shite we are. Right, I'm going to have to skip a shitload of comments here, because I think we've got some super chats coming through that I haven't actually addressed yet. Here's one here. Thank you very much to Alex Rudd, who sent in a super chat. He says, a little something to pick you up. Thank you very much, Alex. Very disappointed with this. I did see it coming. I really did. I really thought it's a good opportunity for Manchester United to piss this away and give it to City. That's what I genuinely thought that this might happen today. Was so close to putting a bet on West Brom to win this game today, but I just couldn't do that because that would have been blasphemy. But so close, I just saw it happening, and of course the odds were favourable. Thank you very much for your super chat there, pal. Gungshi in the house with a big old super chat. Just sent a few hundred Taiwanese dollars over. Thank you so much for that, Gungshi. You're a legend. I really appreciate your continued support, and thank you so much for sending that in. His comment goes, typical of United this season. Last week we beat City. Today we throw it away against the worst team in the league. God, it was always so depressing it almost makes you laugh. Well, it did make me laugh, because it is like that. How can we be that inconsistent? How can we be so amazing one day against Man City, the best team in the league this year, who've just won the league thanks to us, and then the next week we play the worst team in the league and we get beaten 1-0 and we're absolutely dog-turned shite? How can that be, Gungshu? I don't know. But yeah, I totally agree with you, man. It's so typical of United, the season we've had. Hit and miss, one step forward, one step back. Still better than the Louis van Gaal days, though, which was one step forward, two steps back. But it has been frustrating. What we want to see next season is United play a bit more attractive football, go for it a lot more in games, attack more. Not all the time. Sometimes if you're coming up against Man City or whatnot, Jose knows that the best thing to do is sit back, defend, counter-attack, try and hit them on the break at certain times anyway. Do you really want to go blow for blow with Man City? Maybe you do. Maybe that's the key. Liverpool have had the success with it this season up against City, and United's best success against them this season was the second half when we were 2-0 down, when we just fucking went for it. So maybe that is the best thing to do against City, but there's certain balance we need to find with the way the team plays. We all want to see us playing more attacking, attractive football next year, and just improve those wins. One thing though, look at the points tally that we have got this year. It's not terrible, is it? It's not absolutely terrible. Another year we could have been right up there challenging. I just think that it has been a case this season that Man City have just been that good, and also a bit fortunate at times, but generally that good that they've they've barely dropped any points all season. They've scored a ridiculous amount of goals, they've won a ridiculous amount of games, and they have made us look second best. And we are second best, but still, second best in the Premier League is a much bigger improvement than it has been over the last few years. So I think Jose's done a reasonable job, done a good job this season. Shame about the Champions League campaign. We are still in the FA Cup. I think every Manchester United fan would agree that if we could go on and lift the FA Cup and finish second, or even who really gives a shit about finishing second, as long as you've got Champions League football, finish third and lift the FA Cup, then that is the second best achievement of a team in the Premier League this season, other than City. So it's not terrible. We've got a trophy and Champions League qualification, the same as they have. It might not be as good a trophy, but it's still a damn good trophy. If Liverpool go on to win the Champions League, they'll say the same. But, you know, that's a big if. But they may well do that. So yeah, I think it's been a disappointing season in the sense that City have been so good. But generally, if it wasn't for them, who knows? Maybe we would have fucking won the league this year. Herman tapes as Pogba for PSG. He's on about Pogba maybe leaving in the summer. I don't see it happening. Who's going to be paying Paul Pogba's wages? Come on now. Unless United are going to have to make up the remainder, I don't see anybody willing to pay Paul Pogba 300k a week. You know, 300 grand a week for Mr. Inconsistent himself. 1 week, he's absolutely quality. The next week, he literally looks like he's about 8p out there on the pitch. Not 80 million pounds or whatever he is. He's so inconsistent, is Paul Pogba. So I don't see any team coming in with a big offer. Certainly not anywhere the amount we paid for him and paying him anywhere the amount of wages that we do. I mean, maybe PSG would because they're absolute money bags. But no, I don't see anybody actually wanting Paul Pogba at the moment. I think we're stuck with a prick. We're stuck with him. Anthony Evelyn comments and says, Jose Mourinho still has work to do. He has to clear out... we have to clear out the old dust. Yeah, certainly a couple of players knocking about the club that I think we could potentially move on. I mean, I'm not really impressed with Ander Herrera. Gonna be honest with you. When he came over, there was a certain amount of hype to him. He looked pretty good in a struggling side. But generally, I've not been too impressed by Ander Herrera. To me, he doesn't necessarily possess the consistency or the quality required of a Manchester United player. So yeah, I would probably look about maybe moving him on and bringing in another top quality centre mid. Not saying he's absolutely terrible. I think he's decent, but most of the time when I see him play, I am slightly disappointed by him. He scored some nice goals for us and stuff. But, you know... I think we definitely do need to move a couple of players out anyway, and make room for some real top quality players. The thing is about having Jose Mourinho as your manager and having Champions League football and having the ability to challenge on all fronts and having the reputation, the tradition, the history in the club as a Manchester United, it means that you can really challenge in the transfer market for pretty much anybody. You know, if anybody comes available, Manchester United are in with a shout of signing them, whether it's going up against City for the signature, whether it's going up against PSG or Real Madrid. We've still got a chance of signing the very best players in the world. Anything can happen in the summer transfer window. We shall see what happens, but anything can happen. And I think United will sign one gem of a player this summer. I don't know who it will be, but I really think Manchester United will look to strengthen in the summer and will sign a truly quality player. So, yeah, totally agree. Anyway, I think I'm going to wrap it up there, lads and lasses. But to everybody that has joined me live for this match reaction, ramble / rant / I don't know. Thank you so much for getting involved with the channel as per usual. Really appreciate it. Do us a favour, chuck a like on this video. And if you are new to this channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. You can also follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram at Mr. Flying Pig HD. So please do that if you want to send me some sort of abuse over there. If you're a scumbag blue nose... or if you're just a United fan looking to say hello, then please do that as well. Yeah, I mean, I think I'm going to wrap it up there. Everybody who has tuned in, thanks so much for commenting and everything. All the super chatters, the likes of Gungshi, the Alexes, you know, it's all very much appreciated. You guys continue to support the channel like that. Big bit of news for you. Don't go just yet. Hang on to your seats, baby, because this one's a screamer. We've got a bit of news coming on the channel tonight. Me and Henry Hotspur will be doing a sort of season roundup / preview for the FA Cup game between Spurs and United / you know, review of the shit results that me and his teams mine and his teams have had over this weekend. Of course, his team lost 3-1 to Man City yesterday, and we lost to West Brom today, handing City the league. We will be doing a show later on tonight, Pig and the Hen show, random chat. You know how it is. I say we're going to cover these subjects. We'll probably just end up talking about freaking tits or something for the entirety of the time. But but anyway, make sure you do come back on the channel and get involved later. Should be starting around about 9:30 UK time, 9:30 UK time. So make sure you do come back and stick around for that later. Keep an eye out for the notification. Click the little bell end down there and you will be notified when we go live. Also, you can keep an eye out for it on my Twitter feed. But yeah, thanks so much for watching this match reaction. I'm going to go now because we've just reached half an hour and I'm going to turn into a pumpkin. But yeah, fair enough, City. You've done it. You've won the league. You've deserved it. You know, do one. We'll see you next season. I'm pretty sure you won't run away with it next season. We will be challenging for it next season. United, on the other hand, we were shit today. Pogba, you know, Lukaku, you know, all of the players, very disappointing. And I just can't believe that we can go from that City performance to that performance against West Brom in one short move. It's diabolical, lads and lasses. But that's what it is. Anyway, come back in a few minutes when this video has been published on YouTube and get your thoughts and opinions in the comments section. They'll stick around permanently. I'll respond to them. So will everybody else. If I've missed your comments during this live stream, I apologise, of course, can't read everybody's, but thank you so much for writing them. I'll see you soon. This is the Pig on Frying Pig United. Have a good one. Take it easy. Sort your freaking lives out, United. And we're going to win the freaking FA Cup. See you later.